I just want to start out by saying that you might have seen some weird movies in your day, but if you haven't seen Eraserhead, you ain't seen shit. Now everybody wants to talk about the weird symbolism and possible meaning behind Eraserhead, but really the skeletal work is what really counts. Such as Henry. Henry is the guy that brought Jufros back into the mainstream. He's a simple man with simple needs, just a room with a view, a radiator to stare at, and his oatmeal-cheeked smiley girl that he dreams about in his fantasy land inside the radiator. Damn you, David Lynch. Henry also has a girlfriend named Mary. Now, the night that really sends Henry's world into a spiral is the night that he has dinner with Mary's folks, and they have something to spring on him besides the underdone chicken. I guess Papa likes it rare. Mary's mom pulls Henry aside and explains that the night that Henry and Mary had what I can only imagine is the most awkward sex in the world, they conceived a baby, and that baby was born about 8.5 months premature. Henry, being the responsible man that he is, moves Mary and the baby into his apartment and all is leave at the beaver and stuff. Well, kinda, sorta. Mom, Dad, the thing? And Oatmeal Cheeks McGee still living in the radiator. But when the sun goes down and the faults come to light, all starts to crumble. Mary can't stand the baby crying and bails. Well, that didn't take long, did it? Henry deals with the grief of losing Mary by banging the tramp next door in a tiny bed full of dry ice or mist or something, while the baby mabob watches in the background. Sexy. Henry awakens from his post-coitus coma to find that the baby has smallpox or some such thing, and decides to unswaddle it in the dumbest way possible, and kinda kills it, but not because it becomes this giant floating head thing, and I'm just gonna stop because it does not get any less weird from here on out. And Henry's happy because he finally gets Oatmeal Cheeks McGee in heaven, or in the radiator, or just take a bow, David Lynch. Congratulations, you're the craziest bastard on the filmmaking scene. Now, this movie was released in 1978 and was made over the course of 5 years on a budget of around $20,000. Now, the original screenplay was only about 20 pages long, which really should have gave them a short film. So David Lynch has got a whole bunch of craziness. Henry walking around for what seems like forever. Jesus, it's the 70s. Get a car, Henry. Or, dinner conversations that aren't conversations at all. Just crickets, 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 crickets. How you doing, Henry? Crickets, 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 crickets. I'm okay. Crickets, crickets, crickets. And filled it out to about 90 minutes. Now, one of the most debated things about the movie is what the secret meaning is and what David Lynch was trying to say, and he never gives any answers. No interview will you ever find him talking about what the imagery means in Eraserhead. And I imagine he's just sitting back, drinking coffee and smoking French cigarettes and laughing his ass off. Well, I got some news for you people. There is no deeper meaning to Eraserhead. It's David Lynch's version of She's Having a Baby. Sometimes a horse is a horse, even if it's purple with blue polka dots. Now, is the fact that there is no deeper meaning to Eraserhead mean it's a bad movie? Hell no, it's a great movie, especially if you like artsy films. And David Lynch is an artist with an artistic eye. I mean, just by watching this movie, you'll be amazed that David Lynch was making Tool music videos before Tool was making music. And while his movies in the 80s were really awesome and had some interesting weird characters, I don't think he ever got the kind of freedom that he got with Eraserhead until the early 90s with Twin Peaks. And if you don't know what Twin Peaks is, you are horrible! And so now I leave you off to go and watch Eraserhead on your own and make your own critiques. But for the love of God, do not do drugs before you watch this movie.